And today's question comes from Chelsea, and Chelsea writes, Dear Lori, my daughter is 5.5, and I've seen a lot of beneficial changes in her over the last several months. She's less clingy, more open to trying new things, she's looking people in the eye when they say hello, and she's playing with new friends. I have trouble sometimes just stepping back and letting her be a kid, and I know that this is tied to my own childhood. But I've really learned a lot from your videos, and it's helping me so much. Well, Chelsea, I'm so glad to hear that, and I hope that you continue to watch. But I'm having some trouble with the idea of praise. I read Alfie Kohn's Unconditional Parenting, and I see how praise is not beneficial for motivation, but how do I show her that I am proud of her when I need to? If I'm not praising, what do I say? Chelsea. Oh, Chelsea, you are like so many parents who walk away from reading that book terrified of ever uttering another good job to their child. So I want to pull it back just a little bit because, as you know, except for things like love, tolerance, empathy, and the obvious no hurting other people, I don't like absolutes. So I want you to not think so much about what do I say as much as I want you to think about what is it that you really want to express to your daughter in those moments. My first tip is really just be authentic, be honest. Most of us get caught up in good jobbing everything that our kids say and do. And sometimes it's because we're gushing with pride at their first steps, or sometimes it's because we want them to please repeat that very desirable behavior again and again. And sometimes it's because we want to show our gratitude or our pleasure, our sincere gratitude and pleasure. So I want you to take notice of what are you really trying to express. Instead of saying to your daughter, I'm so proud of you for using your manners and being brave and saying hello to all those nice people at the party, which can seem innocent enough, but what message is that really sending to your daughter? And what's your goal? Is your goal to share your pride for the sake of connecting, or is it to share it in hopes that your daughter does that behavior again? I want you to express your understanding of her experience rather than your interpretation of her experience, which might be brave, courageous, but that may have been way off from what she was really experiencing. It also doesn't tell her much about how to do it again successfully. If your child just tried something new for the first time, honor that experience instead of yours, instead of how it made you feel. So try something like, I noticed how you used your voice to speak up and you said hello to all those people at the party who you didn't know. I know that's not something that's normally easy for you or something that you enjoy, so you should be really proud of yourself for trying. This actually focuses on your child's experience and gives them that quality feedback about how they could repeat the behavior again. And it recognizes what might have been real for your child instead of what you might have been thinking might have been going on. Or maybe if your child has offered another child her swing, instead of that knee-jerk praise of her that you want to give, like you're such a good girl or what a nice friend you are, point your child to notice how her behavior made another person feel. You can say to her, I noticed that your friend looked really happy when you offered her the swing. She was waiting for a long time and you saw that and you made a thoughtful choice. Good for you. This is not empty praise, but valuable information about how we contribute to the needs of others. Or if your child brings home an art project, instead of saying, oh, what a beautiful picture, which again doesn't tell your child much except that you have an opinion about it, instead, say what you notice. I see you've used some very dark colors in this painting. And then maybe say how it affects you. This reminds me of my favorite kind of dark and dreary rainy day. Or inquire about maybe the materials that your child used. Be curious about her process rather than the outcome. How did you create all of these colors? They have such deep tones. Did you mix them together? And of course, I always recommend praising effort over outcome. If your child has been struggling with something and then finally accomplishes it after a lot of hard work, then praise that effort rather than the outcome. Instead of commenting on the good grade or the performance or the new skill, instead praise your child for their tenacity and their persistence. You could say something like, you practiced really hard all week and it showed in your recital. Or you were focused and you worked really hard to get on that team. You made it. You made it on the team. All that hard work paid off. Or you studied more than I've ever seen you study before, and now you know that you can do it. You aced that test. This kind of praise gives your child the experience of knowing how her actions created her outcome. I think that's the best kind of natural consequence teaching that you can ask for. I think the best way to know whether your praise is helpful or not is to ask yourself, is my comment going to give my child my advice, my opinion, or my interpretation? Or am I really going to notice my child's accomplishment and share my enthusiasm about how she persisted or overcame any obstacles or used her creativity, and authentically sharing that from my heart instead of my head? That's always going to make all the difference. So Chelsea, that is my teachable moment for you. I hope that that helped clarify that very fine line of when we are praising kids for our sake or for theirs. And when in doubt, just be real, be you. Thank you so much for watching, and if you found this video helpful, then make sure that you are on my email list, because that is the only place where I share all of my extra free video content that you won't see anywhere else. So get on over to teachwithlove.com and enter your email. And of course, if you enjoyed this video, please like it and share it with a friend. Have a wonderful week, everyone, and please remember, it is about consciousness, not perfection. And if you are feeling like empathy just isn't enough to change things, and you don't know what's missing or what to say when you're having difficulty understanding your child's behavior, then you won't want to miss my upcoming 3-week series, Conscious Communication. Enrollment closes this Friday, so check it out.